Okay, let's unpack this. We're digging into David Naolo's book, Tech Evolution, Humanity in the Digital Age Today. It's pretty significant when a cybersecurity expert starts talking about responsible innovation.
Right, especially how it affects our daily lives, friendships, mental health. That's what makes it so relevant, I think.
Exactly.
And Nindolo kicks things off by framing this whole discussion around what he calls the dichotomy of progress.
The dichotomy of progress. Okay, what does he mean by that exactly?
Well, basically, it's this idea that with all this amazing new tech, these incredible opportunities, there's also this significant ethical risk running alongside it. We get the good, but we also, have to deal with the challenges.
Okay, that makes sense. A double-edged sword, sort of.
Precisely.
So let's maybe start with the upside then. He talks about how all this connectivity affects you, the listener, your relationships, how you network.
Yeah, the positive side first. He draws a really interesting parallel. Thinks back to, the printing press.
Oh, okay. How so?
Well, technology acts as this catalyst, right? It speeds things up, challenges the old ways of doing things. He argues modern tech does the same by bridging our physical world and, well, the virtual one.
And that bridge helps build new connections, not just maintain old ones.
Absolutely. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. He points to platforms like Meetup or even Bumble BFF.
Right, for finding friends, not dates.
Exactly. People forming whole communities based on shared interests, maybe stuff they'd never find locally, friendships that just wouldn't happen otherwise.
And it's not just personal stuff, right? Professional networking, too.
Oh, definitely. Social media, sure, but specifically things like LinkedIn, they just smash geographical barriers. You can network, collaborate with people literally anywhere. It's a huge shift for business.
Okay, so massive reach, new communities. But that leads us straight into the other side of that dichotomy, doesn't it? The dark side of connectivity.
Yeah, the cautionary part. And it hits hard. He talks about the mental toll.
This is the anxiety, the screen time stuff.
That's part of it. He gets into the neuroscience a bit. Warns that this constant need for instant gratification, the pings, the notifications, it can trigger dopamine responses.
Uh-oh, like addiction.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
Akin to substance addiction, he suggests. And that constant stimulation, excessive screen time, it is linked to symptoms of anxiety, depression, even social isolation, paradoxically.
And it's not just personal mental health, is it? There's a bigger societal issue he brings up.
Right, the echo chamber effect. It's not just that we're fragmented. He explains how it happens. The algorithms...
They feed us what we want to hear.
Basically, yeah. They prioritize engagement, stuff that confirms what you already think, over, say, accuracy or diverse viewpoints. So your feed becomes very homogenous.
And that splits political discussion further apart.
It definitely contributes. And all this pressure, this need to engage, leads to burnout for a lot of people.
Right, social media fatigue. I've heard that term.
Yeah, Endelo uses it. People just feel overwhelmed, too much information, always having to be on. It makes them want to just detach, pull away from the very platforms meant to connect them.
So it sounds pretty bleak, but he doesn't just leave it there, does he? There's a way forward.
No, he definitely doesn't. He argues we have to see tech as a tool, a potentially powerful one for good things, like social justice.
How so?
Well, he points to examples. Movements like hashtag Black Lives Matter, platforms like Twitter, Instagram, they were crucial for organizing, for raising awareness on a massive scale. Tech can be empowering.
Okay, so it's not inherently bad. It's about how we use it.
Exactly. The key message isn't ditch the tech. It's about being human-centric, about mindfulness in technology use. That's the core solution he proposes.
Mindfulness. So not just turning it off, but being more deliberate.
Precisely. Making conscious choices, like setting specific tech-free times, or really focusing on having one genuine quality conversation instead of just scrolling through hundreds of updates from acquaintances. Prioritizing depth.
Right. Enhancing relationships, not just managing connections.
That's the idea.
So wrapping this up, where does that leave us? We're at this crossroads.
Yeah, where we need to choose. Prioritize empathy, understanding, maybe slow down a bit, focus on quality over just speed and quantity.
A human-centric digital future. That's the goal.
That's the goal. And Indolo is very clear. Getting there needs collaboration. It's not just on users or tech companies alone.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to mull over. If collaboration is key, what intentional steps do technologists, the designers building this stuff, and policymakers need to take together? How do they weave ethics and diverse perspectives right into the core of development from the start? instead of, tacking it on as an afterthought.
That's the big question, isn't it? How do we build it right from the ground up?